Game time decisions on a Thursday night. Kevin Walsh, Gabe Morency, and we've got ourselves a couple of playoff games to break down. Can't help but, yesterday's action actually went pretty well for me, so I shouldn't be as bothered probably as I am, but I don't like when common sense escapes a basketball game, and Nick Nurse convincing himself that he needed to play Tyrese Maxey 47 minutes is a lack of common sense. You know what you can do? Let Quentin Grimes play 30 minutes. Or play one of the 9 guys on your bench you refuse to check in. Because sometimes basketball games aren't this cut and dry, but yesterday's was. The Sixers would have won that game if they had their legs for the fourth quarter. They were all burnt out, Gabe. They scored 12 fourth quarter points and lost a game that could have flipped this series on its head.
You know what? I cannot agree with you more. There was a lot of questionable moves made last night in the NBA as far as player minute management is concerned. But with that being stated, I want to thank Nick Nurse for doing so, because I had Tyrese Maxey over 25 or more points scored, Kevin, and it got there because he played so much. And
yeah,
the thing that got me, and I'm sure you feel the same way about this, I actually was going through complete gambler's rage last night. I'm not on tilt, everybody, but I'm not really enjoying the last couple of weeks as much as I should. Like the playoffs, it's up and down, right? I'm like a team. I win one, lose on a day. It's like, and I talk about like the emotional roller coaster of the playoffs. I feel like I'm on that as a gambler right now over the last couple of weeks. So like you, we actually did well last night. You know what I mean? That's not really the problem, but it's like, can we do well 2-3 nights in a row? Right? Get something going. It's like the playoffs. Like, yeah, we won, but we lost the next one. Right? It's like, can I get a little streak going? But Kevin, last night, remember, I was very adamant. And even people online, Morency, if you're betting one game and, this and that, I said, guys, I don't see how Victor Wembanyama doesn't get over 12.5 rebounds. And I said, the guy's an automatic 15 rebounds. Right? He's automatic. It's only 12.5. You know he's going to play. You know he's going to be on the floor all the time. They need him. He's mad. He's got a chip on his shoulder after game one. Well, there they are, Kevin, up by 35.
Yeah.
And he's stuck at 12. I literally stopped watching, like nearly broke something. Like I literally, because I looked earlier I saw the cash out, and I was like, man, they're already paying me. He's got 8 rebounds in the first quarter. And then it got stuck at 12, Kevin. And I was like, I should have cashed out. They're going to take him out of the game. I was like, why would you leave Victor Wembanyama in a game when you're up by 35 points? Well, evidently, they don't see things the way I do. Thank God they did. But let me ask you, Kevin, like, isn't that like fireable almost? Like they say, like, owners shouldn't get involved. I don't care. If I'm the owner of the San Antonio Spurs, I am getting involved. I am getting involved. I'm calling the coach, and I'm saying, listen, I'm not going to tell you how to do your job, but you won't have a job if you keep my guy on the floor when we're up by 38 next time. I can tell you point blank.
Gabe,
it's funny, Kevin. I used to own a horse, and when I owned a horse, when I bought the horse, bro, I never forget. I was sitting in a diner, and I told the guys and everyone in there, I said, "Yeah, I won't be one of these owners like Daniel Snyder or something that gets involved. You guys can do your job." I said, "You guys know way more about horse racing than I do." I said, "You guys just do your thing." Took me about 3 weeks, Kevin, waking up every morning. What the hell? What are you guys like? What'd you go soft down the stretch for? You should have, like, why did you take the time? I became like the biggest expert ever, Kevin. I was like, I was talking to people, and they said you should have did this down the stretch.
I'm sure they love that.
Me.
I'm sure they love that.
By the end, they were like, yeah, what is it, Gabe? Every time the phone rang, yeah, what is it? I'd be like, I got a problem with how our jockey handled things. Because they're like, oh, you have a problem. But I would have a problem with that, Kevin, but we won the props because of the negligence of these coaches last night.
Yeah, the Wemby thing was jarring to see him out there still on the court. But I got to tell you, and this is where betting gets very tilting. Again, we give you the picks. Sometimes with live bets, like I try and tweet them out, right? I don't tweet every single one of them out. And I took Drummond for what would be 7 points and rebounds in the second half. He grabbed 5 in 4 minutes. Never checked back in. So I'm sitting here, I'm like, wow, everyone's exhausted. Drummond's on his feet. Like, is it my, nope, not coming in. So then, Gabe, I'm watching Spurs-Wolves. I was on the over, and I'm like, look, I understand I'm probably dead. It was a bad first quarter, but it's not going to go under the 204.5 live, but I was on tilt, so I didn't bet it. And then I'm watching
myself too.
Doom. I'm like, oh my God.
You're talking to a guy that I bet the most in-game overs in the history of mankind. There's sportsbook directors in the Bahamas on vacation right now due to me. And this guy, remember when he bet all that money on that in-game over? Same thing last night, Kevin. I kept on seeing it, 204.5, 202.5. Didn't do it because I'm like, Minnesota's got to top out. It's 30, and this is just a stupid game. And somehow they combined for 67 or whatever in the fourth. Mm-hmm. Seriously, it was like 32-27 or whatever it was, 69, whatever it was. They scored a ton of points in the fourth quarter. We get that sails over the number when it's all said and done. But, strange night last night for the props, and kind of leads us into tonight, doesn't it? Once again, I guess let's start with the second game here, Kevin, with the Lakers in Oklahoma City.
15.5 again.
Yeah,
total drop
I've
a
seen
bit,
some 15s.
moving up all day.
You brought it up before the series started, and I didn't kind of disagree with you due to the pattern of OKC in the past. About, all right, they murder you once, they sort of hang around with you once. They might lose once on the road, then kill you again. Like, there is a pattern to them. They get bored, Oklahoma City, a bit. They play with their food. Let's just call it out what it is. They're like, they sort of want. But, guys, you saw it, Kevin. This isn't a case where it's like, oh, yeah, you know what? The Lakers, nearly covered the other night, and, in Oklahoma City, this and that. You and I talked about it. The Lakers cut the lead to 4. They still lost by 18 somehow. Yeah. SGA had one of his worst playoff games in the history of his career. What can I say, Kevin? They're almost going to be better tonight, Oklahoma City. No, they didn't play well the other night. Yeah. They didn't play well. And I'm going back to the window, Kevin. It was 114.5 the other night. Mm-hmm. They got to 111 without trying. It's 112.5 tonight. They tried tonight. Even though they won by 18. I don't think they take the pedal off the metal. I told you before the series started, and you agreed. What I said? I said, man, Oklahoma City enjoyed this scene. They really seem to enjoy killing the Lakers for some reason. They really
do. And their bench guys can all shoot. Just to make the point on the Thunder, and I say this with no cockiness, okay? I was on the Sixers plus 10.5. They won the first quarter by 2. I knew I won the bet. I knew the Sixers were covering after they were up 2. The Lakers, I was getting 5 more points. Mid-third quarter, 4-point ball game. I'm like, gosh almighty, man. If this Reeves doesn't figure it out. I knew we were on the cut line because of the way OKC does this thing at the beginning of fourth quarters when Shea's on the bench with 14 towels on, where everyone on the court can make threes. And they come down, it's a quick 9-0 run. You go, goodness me. And you're down 16. So I'm not betting the side tonight. And the tricky thing with Thunder Lakers is you look at these props and you go, well, that's light. Because the books don't know.
LeBron is light.
He's got, but Gabe, if he plays 26 minutes, guess what? Not that light. Because they're worried that it's going to be a massacre.
That's the problem, right? Does it turn into a massacre? Because it never was a massacre in game 1.
No.
It really wasn't. Hell, like Kevin said.
That's why Shea is even money for 30. Because they're like, we don't know if he's going to play that long.
Yeah, but he scores so quickly, even when he doesn't play. Like Shea, he could drop 30 and 26, if he wanted to. You know what I mean?
I know.
I don't know. He seems to be I don't know. The other night I got the vibe of Shea. He was sort of like, hey, you guys are having fun. You do it. Like you said, he's got his towels on. He's not an egomaniac. He's not an egomaniac. Like a lot of guys, though, he does. He likes his towels.
He's got a lot of towels. I don't know what it is.
He's got
I've never seen a guy with he doesn't like the jumpsuit that much. It's just more towels. We'll get fixed after the break. All right, guys, back with you here on a Thursday night. We got plenty to get to. Let's do this quickly, okay? We're just with the Thunder and the Lakers. I went through these numbers. I thought the over was light. 209.5 this morning, bet up to 211.5. And I know it's stupid to be like, 2 points. It was enough for me to be like, I'm good. 120 to 90 is 210. And I was like, I'm stepping back. Here's what I bet. LeBron over 7.5 assists. LeBron in game one was all about scoring. I think he can still score in this game. However, I've seen LeBron enter games like this where he wants his teammates to prove to him they're going to show up. And what that means is a lot of passing. And you guys know they have the advanced tracking stuff now. LeBron had 14 potential assists in game one. 14. For comparison, he averaged 13.3 potential assists against the Rockets. I think LeBron tonight, Gabe, will start out passing. Doesn't mean he won't start to score. Points props are still light, but I like LeBron over 7.5 assists in this one.
I don't disagree with that take. He knows he needs to get others involved. But with that being stated, it doesn't mean that he's still not going to get to 20. Is 22 a bit much? I'd be like hard-pressed. One thing with LeBron, he doesn't tap out in these games, right? When they're down by 18 and stuff, he'll play through it. And one thing about LeBron as well, every basket counts to him. It's just padding the stats. Like, you know what I mean? He is a stat patter. Let's call it out for what it is. Great player. Wow. But a lot of guys aren't aware of, like I said, I had breakfast with Wayne Gretzky. He didn't even know where he was in the scoring race. LeBron James, I promise you, Kevin, he can tell you, oh, yeah, I'm 613 points behind this to be the all-time now. Like, he knows about all this stuff. Like, no, I'm just saying, like,
no, that's true. He's aware of the records. He's aware of
the things that makes him good, though, right? That he wants to be on the court all the time. He does. Like, he's not one of these dudes, oh, we're down by 16, take me out. He's like, no, I'll drop 30 and whatever and look mad.
Did you ever hear him, Gabe, tell the story? Sorry, quickly, but he told the story when he got his ankle rolled up by Solomon Hill a couple of years back, and he looked up at the scoreboard and saw he had 7 points, and he went, let me see if I can gut this out. Corner three, swished it, checked out. He was out for months. But he's like, let me see if I can make this three and keep that.
It bothered him sitting there looking up.
Years. Yeah. He's on the floor in pain looking at the scoreboard. Evan, all right. Get me to the corner quick.
Yeah. And I'm just saying, it's not like a bad thing. You know, some guys are like, I don't care. You're about to get this. Yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? But he wants to stay on the court and do his thing. And I'm saying this is as something that I like him tonight. I think he's going to get into the 20s again this evening. But I don't disagree in that he doesn't distribute the ball. Let's be real. A lot of stuff is correlated because the NBA is frustrating in this way in the sets. A lot of props make a lot of sense until somebody's up by 30. Right? Like, and then you're like, dude, like, I'm on the right team. I'm on the right this. Like, I had De'Aaron Fox last night over assist. He didn't have to pass the ball to anyone. He scored like the first 10 points. They were up by 30. And he sat and whatever. It was a big party for everybody. Right? So it was one of those, you got to be careful. So the question is tonight, Austin Reeves, Kevin. Austin Reeves. Because now it's becoming a thing about, is this costing him money? Is this sort of costing his, like, maybe he's not that good, which I think is unfair because I'm sure people said it to you. I'm like, dude, the guy just got back. I mean, he just got back, and people are talking about, well, maybe he's not worth all this money anymore. Maybe they shouldn't reach. Like, well, it's like, guys, give him a little bit of slack here, but there's been a pattern, Kevin. He hasn't made, he hasn't been shooting. Yeah, I know. Like,
well, here's the thing, Gabe.
A lot of pressure on him tonight. He better show up tonight. He shows up tonight. The game is closer. It helps Oklahoma City team total. It helps SGA over. It helps everything. Like, I hate to say this, but Austin Reeves is like this X factor, Kevin, of a lot of props tonight.
I think you're 100% right. I think Austin Reeves is what dictated the non-cover for the Lakers in game number 1. And
point blank. They lost by 18. They were getting 15 and a half. He went 3 for 16.
I mean, he put up a Stone Cold stat line. That's not good. And we love Stone Cold here, but you can't be doing the 316s. Austin Reeves, though, in the regular season game was fresh as a daisy and still couldn't score against this Thunder group. And I got to tell you, man, this is one of these things for Reeves where a bit of pride is on the line. Like, at the end of the day, in a bad game, you can go and get yours. He cannot leave this series shooting, under 35% and just like he can't do anything. He has to, Gabe, get himself going a little bit, injury or not. Because here's the thing too, like injury. Well, the first game he played against the Rockets, he scored 22. The next game, he shot 50% from the floor. And then he got off for 4 days. So, okay, injury. All right, I'm sorry then the 41-year-old's fresher than you. But that's what we're looking at here, man. Like, that's what we're looking at with this. I'll just say as well.
What are you going to play as over-under? And I'll just throw it out there. Last night, one of the smart things I did, and props to you, I jumped on the Terrence Shannon bandwagon again. It was 10.5. He got to 12 when it was all said and done. But last night, Kevin, I caught on earlier. You and I talked about this before the game, in which Anthony Edwards, and he said, I don't know how much he's really going to play. And we said, listen, they got what they wanted. They got the split. Yeah, exactly. It's like, put him in street clothes. We got the split. He'll be nice and fresh when we get back to Minneapolis. They're like, no, but I could tell early, Kevin, the game, it was one of those deals, bro, like in-game, right away. Kind of like you said about with the Sixers. I knew kind of like you could tell last night, 2 minutes into the game, Spurs are going to blow them out. It was just one of those, they're not playing around. Like, they are locked in. This is real. Yeah. And then I heard Ian Eagle just sort of say 6-7 minutes. Still no Anthony Edwards tonight. Yeah, we're hearing he might play about 18 minutes. And I just look at the in-game, Kevin, and I see it. Over under 19.5. Yeah. And I'm like, no way. He ain't scoring 20 points. They're getting blown out. No. And I clicked it. Boom. Yeah. Winner, baby. Winner.
I got to tell you, I didn't realize this game. Like, he was tied for the team's leading score. You'd be like, ooh, that might be true. Nobody scored more than 12 on the Wolves.
They were bad last night. They were bad.
I didn't. And here's what I will just say to you on Reeves. I'm not betting his points tonight. No matter what, I think I'll have a good read on how to treat him when they get back to LA after time.
That's the big one, yeah.
I think,
He'll
I
shoot
think that's
better
where we get some 100%. Like,
but
in a way,
if he plays better tonight, he goes off then in the next one. But he needs to get it going. Like, you can't just wait till I'm back in LA.
Sneak over, low numbers in LA, and then we attack later on in the week. We'll talk to Craig Mish after the break. Game Time Decisions on SportsGrid. We're now joined by Craig Mish, host of Newswire, right here on the grid, as well as Pro Baseball Today on the weekends. And Craig, we've been talking baseball throughout this season, and I'd like to believe that more often than not, we bring a little nuance to the table.
Sure.
I have a more barbaric question in its, I guess, in its simplicity. After Paul Skeens yesterday had what has to be the best start of his season. 8 innings, 2 hits, no earned runs, no walks, strikeouts. Yeah, very simplistic, but I am curious. In this moment, do you think Paul Skeens is the best pitcher in Major League Baseball?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you'd have a hard time debating it, honestly, right now. I mean, the only debate would have been Tariq Skubal, and Skubal's on the injured list. So there may be pitchers that pitch better than him this season. I mean, that is fair. It's possible Max Fried's numbers are better than his this season, but if a team had to pick a pitcher to start one game, it would be Skeens. And if a team had to pick a pitcher to have for the next 10 years, it would be Skeens. So to me, those two boxes check off. It's not like, it's not like you pick another pitcher and you say to yourself, hey, for this one game, I'd rather have somebody else than Skeens, and we could do a debate. But he checks both those boxes, Kevin. So that's the answer, yes.
Yeah, I think it's totally fair. I think part of the reason I was thinking about it is he's obviously been really good. He's held to a high standard. I do feel like somewhat, especially with that Skubal injury, if he's somewhat the answer by default, right? Like you bring up, like, I guess Skubal, again, like if you look around baseball right now, like Jose Soriano's having a great start.
Sure.
Obviously, there's no case to be made there. Sale's still doing it, but I don't feel like we view him in that exact spot. Chris Sanchez is probably like just missing the cut. Yamamoto's got some pedigree to him. I don't know what we do with the Ohtani stuff from time to time, but I don't know. Like, are we in an ace deficit across Major League Baseball, Craig?
It could be. I think you can push Ohtani a little up. I do think you can do that. I would not dismiss that idea of him being the second best. Maybe that's possible going into the season. So yes, a little by default because Skeens is hurt. And then the other part of this too, and you know me well enough by now for me to tell you that if Cam Schlittler played for the Royals, we would not be talking about him in this way. I mean, we've seen, Cole Reagans, and we've seen Seth Lugo have seasons like this, and we don't talk about them like we do with Cam Schlittler because he wears the pinstripes. He's an impossible bet. He's impossible futures odds. He's a Yankee. But, that being said, I do think that others will emerge as the season rolls on. And so I would not just plant my flag on Skeens as an absolute to win the Cy Young because, again, something can happen and somebody could step up. I think for me, though, the one name, and as we're talking about it, my guesses, by the way, Kevin, are seemingly coming true. It does appear that Ohtani wants to win the Cy Young. It appears that they're letting him now go 6-7 innings. So look out for that. I would not dismiss that, especially if something, if Skeens was to go sideways a little bit.
Yeah, I think the Ohtani stuff's super fascinating in that respect. Like they do need him to hit, but he doesn't get run support anymore. Ohtani right now is, Skeens of a season ago, but somehow like on the Dodgers, which makes no sense. Like he can't get any run support in these starts and whatever it may be. And just to the Schlittler point, because I remember, when the Skubal injury happened, I was like, damn, Schlittler's the favorite.
It's the favorite.
Like, it's jarring, Craig. It really is. But I think part of that is you can say pinstripes. Give me your guy. Every Mariners starter's disappointing. Every single one of them. You want to Gavin Williams, Drew Rasmussen. I mean, who's the DeGrom? We're not doing the DeGrom thing. So, like, I think the Schlittler stuff, you can say it's Yankees, but it's again, Dylan Cease.
Like Jose Soriano, who has better numbers, Jose Soriano or Cam Schlittler?
Yeah, I think if the season ended today, it would be Soriano. I think
but Schlittler would probably but the odds basically are favoring him because he's on the Yankees. There's no other reason. I mean, Jose Soriano is doing better than Cam Schlittler, and his odds are not particularly close to where Cam Schlittler's are, and that's the way it should be. I understand that's the nature of it. So that's my point. Is just that he's not my guy, Jose Soriano. I probably like Schlittler better, but
yeah, I think the Soriano thing is more so just He's given up 8 runs in his last 2 starts, and
That's
the idea is
Mhm.
he's not going to keep it up, right? Listen, I'm the person who's gotten into arguments, in seasons past about Seth Lugo, Chris Bubich, Ranger Suarez, right, where they have these moments, but the odds makers seem to have a good grasp for who's going to still be in the conversation come late July.
That's
And,
fair. Mhm.
that's kind of how these things start to shape. Look, it's an interesting time as far as these pitchers go. We know there's Cole Reagans was supposed to be in this mix. Maybe
Yeah, he
banged
was.
up again,
Yeah.
too. So, Craig, we appreciate it as always. Of course, Newswire Monday through Friday right here on SportsGrid. We'll be right back with
can't alienate your fan base. That's the problem. You got to show your fan base that you're still trying to win, and you want to sell tickets in the summertime. You don't want to go into mid-May and say, all right, we're 15 games out, but it's still only early May. No, fans will stay away. So you don't have the luxury anymore of just waiting. So someone's got to get fired.
Nope.
One of these teams is going to fire someone by the end of the month.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
I thought the Jets would have pulled the Ty Simpson move. I was desperately worried that was what they were going to do. But instead, they ended up getting it right with Bailey. And so did, by the way, the prediction markets, because we saw all that money come in for Bailey. It's kind of funny because all it is, and then you forget, who did Arizona go with? I mean, Arizona went with a running back.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
We're seeing as sports betting is continuing to rise, that some of the potential issues around it are rising too. And these companies are having to deal with that. You have several lawmakers have introduced bills across states in Congress to potentially curb some of the problematic activity. In some cases, like in Ohio, we talked about last week, to potentially end online sports betting.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
It's a 7-game sprint with a whole lot of volatility, right? You don't want the best team, so to speak, Donnie. You want the team that has a favorable group stage, weaker knockout path, and has some penalty variance coming their way here, because this is all about the path to the final, Donnie. It's not about the best team, because the best team can get knocked out.
Prediction Markets Edge, only on SportsGrid.
All right, game time decisions here on SportsGrid. Kevin Walsh, Gabriel Morency. We're going to get to the hockey in a minute here. I just want to do the baseball quick in case anyone's got some action before these games get underway. One of the bets on my card today, behind the scenes, is one of the producer best bets, which is AJ on the A's. I agree. I like this spot for the Athletics. Get back up over 500 here. I think you could pretty easily argue they have the better pitcher. That number I've seen pop around at plus 115. I know AJ's on it at plus 110. So I like that look a lot from AJ. I'm also on, so it worked out yesterday. My baseball totals came in, which was good. So I am on the under Marlins Orioles 8.5 at minus 120. Meyer against Povich. Povich actually struggles against lefties more than righties. So I don't think the Marlins will be able to really hit him as much as the books think. And then late night, Gabe, I really like the Padres. I don't know if I want to go back it again, but I laid the run at a half here. Liberatore, I think, should get smoked by this Padre lineup. Padres off a road trip. Cardinals starting a road trip here. I think Michael King deals. I think the Padres can win this game by a couple runs.
Kevin, it's funny you say that because it's a light baseball card tonight, obviously. The one game that caught my eye tonight. If it's like, and that's how I've been handling baseball recently during the playoffs. And it's funny because I was really into it, like at the start, like every game, every new one. Sorry, this guy is 0 for 6 in his last. I knew everything on top of it, but I can't lie. The playoffs have shown up, and I sort of pick my spots with baseball now. But the one game tonight I looked at, I was like, I'll jump in on San Diego a little bit later on tonight. But there's, sort of the calm before the storm right now. The playoffs started, and I think the dopamine rush is sort of worn off a little bit of right? NHL, NBA playoffs, because you and I talk about it, 1 game, 2 games, and right, the schedule's not as jammed up as much as it is. World Cup rapidly approaching. We're about 36, 37 days away now, give or take, from the start of the World Cup is coming. But the WNBA season is here, Kevin. Tomorrow.
Oh my gosh, I keep forgetting.
It's it's real. Like it's regular season tomorrow, bro. Like that. So it snuck up on me. I'm like, man, I want to bet the Toronto Tempo over 15.5 wins, but now I got to put my money where my mouth is. I'm like, damn, I wish the season was starting in 2 weeks. I had more time. Like, right? I'm like, oh,
yeah.
You know, like you want to bet
but you'll be heavy on them
futures
tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Like, yeah, exactly.
Home opener, short number.
Yeah, and there'll be win totals up through the season, right? So it is. Yeah. The game's basically a pick 'em tomorrow. But let me just throw this out. I wanted to sort of pick your see your random thoughts about this, because there's some fun I got some fun props up here. So let's start off like can't talk WNBA without Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
All right, to make 3+3s in the first 3 regular season games. All right, plus 375. 3 threes each in the first 3 games, plus 375. I want to see, like, to record 54 points in a regular season game, Caitlin Clark. 18-1, plus 1,800. I don't think she drops 55.
No, I mean, that's a crazy number. Like, I don't think she
54.
scored 50 at Iowa, right? I don't think she's, like, trust me, she can get going, don't get me wrong, but.
I got some Paige Becker props. What do we got? Paige Becker's 54 or more, 30-1. Paige Becker's to score 10 or more points in each regular season game. Plus 650. Plus 650.
I don't know if I hate that. Let's see how do you think she did on that last year? Now it's a little different because she was a rookie. She also wasn't super healthy last year, right?
No,
Paige Becker's.
No, she wasn't.
She really, I mean, she scored double digits in each of the preseason games. And you know they're playing limited minutes in that.
She was going off like last year. Then the only time she didn't, they ran her into the ground. She got worn out, right? So she got a little bit tired.
She played 36 games, Gabe, just quickly.
Yeah.
She scored 9 once, double digits, and all the rest. Another year better.
That was her
plus
rookie
650
year
is not bad.
in which she wasn't 100% at all. I remember because I was betting. I'm a Paige fan. There were a couple of times, Kevin, she gutted it through, right? It was like, yeah, all right, we're playing in New York. I'll show up. Or the UConn, like the Connecticut game. There were a few times like she was sick. She had the flu or whatever. Like, she really gutted it up last year. So I didn't even realize that. Only once. She had 9. You're getting plus 650 with this.
That's not bad. No, usually
you play the bet, you stash it, and you know what I mean. You have fun with it. You check the box score, right? You're like, oh, still alive.
I'll put this into perspective, but I don't know if it's the same odds because I see the same option for Caitlin at plus 280, and people debate who's the better player. I think it's a really fun debate.
Paige is the better all-around player, I think.
Paige's game, though, is a little bit more about scoring than I think Clark's in the WNBA right now, right? Where Caitlin's going to lead the league in assists for like the next decade. My point is this. If Clark is plus 280, I don't think Becker should be plus 650. I think almost anybody could agree on that, right?
I would agree. Not to mention, too, Dallas play pretty high-tempo basketball, too, Kevin. Right? Like,
I saw some tweets about that, Gabe. That they're supposed to play lightning fast.
Yeah, no, they do. They did last year, and they want to play quicker now even. Right? Yeah. So, like, Dallas are an over team generally. Like, they shoot, they play quick tempo, they get the ball up the court quickly. Toronto, incidentally, I would expect to walk the ball up the court more. The coach was talking about creating a defensive identity first. We want to be tough to play against and all that type stuff. So, a little bit different. Regular season MVP. Isn't A'ja Wilson pregnant?
I do not think so, Gabe. I am pretty sure if she was, she would not be playing in preseason games.
A'ja Wilson pregnant?
I think
Never thought I'd be looking this up today. All right. You know what? I'm not crazy. She isn't pregnant. A'ja Wilson is not pregnant. But there were rumors circulating that she was pregnant. And you know who her boyfriend is, right?
Yes.
Bam Adebayo. So that was the thought. Like, I remember at the time, people were like, oh, boy, what a player they're going to have, kid. Like, man, AJ Wilson, Bam Adebayo. So it's not true. They are a couple, but she's not pregnant. All right. Because I was just going to say, how could she be favored to be MVP if she's pregnant?
Right.
All right.
Here's what I'll say with the MVP, though, Gabe. Just here's what I'll throw you, Gabe. Nafisha Collier with the third best odds.
She's injured.
Is very injured.
Yeah,
and
that's why I'm
by the way,
like,
Gabe,
really?
doesn't look interested in coming back anytime soon with Minnesota. Like, she might start she might want to leave kind of thing. I got to tell you, that looks like one of those, maybe Stewie still has it in her. It's probably Aja versus Caitlin. Maybe Paige gets in the mix if Dallas surprises. Right? I mean, is there anybody else that really could put the numbers up to hang with it's probably just Aja in a way, right?
No,
I mean,
it's Wilson.
Yeah,
Wilson's
that's what I'm
the
saying.
best player by far in the league. Well, she's
100%.
she's the most consistent. She's the badass. New York, like you said, Kevin, New York, you got Stewart, you got Sabrina. They sort of erase each other. They're more of a team. Collier's a stud, but she's out and hurt. And like Kevin said, I wouldn't be surprised if Collier's not even on Minnesota down the road. Caitlin's plus 250. You're never getting value with her.
Just such a bad number.
Kelsey Plum's good, but she's not MVP good.
No.
Alyssa Thomas is a stat machine, but she ain't winning the MVP. She's a great prop bet, Kevin. I'm telling you, Alyssa Thomas, she's
the
a great
rebound
prop
assists.
bet.
Sometimes you get a not too expensive double-double.
100%. Yeah.
I'll tell you this,
she's one of my
guys.
girls. I have a few girls in the WNBA. Alyssa Thomas is one of them.
I love betting the WNBA. Last year, I was on Vegas to win the championship. Now, I can't brag about that too much because it looked awful for half the season, and I didn't rebet it. I lost a lot of confidence in that team, but it came in. Now, it's just such a busy time of year. It is sneaking up on me, but I will spend, the appropriate amount of time to make sure that we come in here tomorrow, not just ready to bet the games, but hopefully we can find some value in this futures market, whether it be a win total or a WNBA championship
for Defensive Player of the Year, Most Improved Player. You got love for this. It's a little Coach of the Year.
Can I sneak something in here? And I'm glad it's up against the break because I don't want to spend too much time on it. They did the GM survey, Gabe, for the WNBA. Next 5 years, who's going to be the best player in this rookie class? You know who got no votes? The girl who went first overall. Alba Fam, Olivia Miles, none for AZ Fudd. We'll be right back.
Number one, who asked for this? Nobody, but nobody asked for a bump up in the number of teams in both the men and the women's basketball tournament from 68, including the 4 play-in teams, to 76. And by the way, it looks like it is a near-done deal. ESPN and ABC News reported this morning that it's very close to being done. It could be announced by the end of this week.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
We got a logjam up top, Joe, which basically means these are the teams we expect to make the college football playoff.
If I let's say, Ohio State to run it back, well, then I already know what not only am I betting them for a flyer, I'm also betting the conference to win the championship also. So there's a lot of way to correlate these future bets in college.
Prediction Markets Edge. Only on SportsGrid.
Pretty adamant that they're going to play Kirk Cousins all of the season if they can.
It's not like Mendoza's coming in as some quarterback that, he hasn't played much and he needs some time. Like, he's as ready as he's going to be, bro.
Yeah.
Like, what's going to change? It's almost like Bo Nix or something. Like, nothing was going to change. Like, the guy's played 1 million games already. He is who he is.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Hey there, it's your buddy Craig Carton. If you're trying to find out how to get all the great content that me and Tyrone Johnson give you every single day, here's Tyrone to tell you how.
You can subscribe on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, and of course, Amazon Music as well. We're at all 4.
That's right. It's the Craig Carton Show podcast every weekday morning live at 11, replayed at noon on YouTube and on SportsGrid throughout the country. Check it out.
All right, we are here on SportsGrid. Let's talk a little hockey. Before we get to the game tonight, yesterday, we had, shout out Jack Eichel, by the way, who found a way to get a point with 14 seconds left in that game between Vegas and Anaheim. But we had the Buffalo-Montreal series begin, and man, hockey can be tough sometimes, because I know it went over the number, but it looked like we had ourselves maybe another 15-goal classic. And instead, 6 goals through 2 periods, it sits right there, which kept that intensity up throughout. Gabe, what was your biggest takeaway from Buffalo-Montreal yesterday?
My first takeaway was Buffalo are good, and Buffalo are the real deal. There's a lot of teams in the National Hockey League that it's like, yeah, you know what? They're really fast, but they're not the most physical team. Or it's like, yeah, they're really big, but they're kind of goons and you can go around them, right? There's a lot of every team, like, the Oilers. Yeah, the Oilers have McDavid and Draisaitl, but they gave up a lot at the back end. They're sloppy at the back end. Buffalo are they don't really have a weakness. Like Buffalo have like the rare combination of size and speed. And I will say this, though, Kevin, very similar to San Antonio and Minnesota. These playoff series, guys, you play a team for 7 games, especially. A division team. You're the Canadians. You know the Lightning. You played them all the time. You lost Stanley Cup to them a couple of years ago. You know each other. You hate each other. You just played 7 games in 14 days, essentially. The same style of hockey, Kevin. Tampa Bay slowed it down. Let's clamp it up. Montreal are too fast for us. Let's slow it down and play men's hockey. And we got a 7-game series out of it. There's always that adjustment. You see it in basketball. Like the game 1 after a 7-game series, we're playing a completely different team now. Like this team is like, but Montreal like to skate, and Tampa tried to slow them down. So Montreal take the ice last night, and then Buffalo are like, we're not scared to skate with you. And not only are we faster than you, we're bigger than you. So we're going to win the puck battles, and, we're going to attack the net. Buffalo came out last night on fire, Kevin. The first couple of minutes, they ambushed the Montreal Canadiens. The Canadiens, were playing like they were playing Tampa. Oh, let's pass the puck and sort of take our time. And they realized quickly that is not going to work against the Buffalo Sabres. As the game went on, the Canadiens started to find their ground. Stats in hockey can be twisted about who the better team is. Like last night, Montreal outshot Buffalo. Montreal dominated in the faceoff circle. They did a lot of things right. They won a game and get 9 shots on goal the other night. Last night, they had a bunch of shots on goal, and they created chances, and they ended up losing. So I think it was just sort of an adjustment period. It's going to be a long series. Home ice could matter in this series where, you know what I mean? All right, the home teams win all the time, but I think we're going 7. I expect the Canadians to bounce back in game 2. In the same way I told you last night, Kevin, I expected the Ducks to bounce back after a tough loss in game 1.
Can you just explain something to me quickly in that game? All right, because that game was on. It got a spot. We had a couple of TVs going. We didn't have the volume going on. What in the world was going on in the first 10 minutes? Why were Anaheim on the penalty power play for the first entire period? What was going on?
Very frustrating. It was very frustrating as someone with the Ducks.
I didn't understand it.
No, it was.
But why were they on the penalty? It was just resetting. It was like I didn't know what was going on. It just kept saying 2 minutes.
It was Vegas's fault. I think they even got a 4-minute one at one point early.
Hitting people with sticks, I don't.
Yeah, they got a 4-minute. They hit someone in the face with a stick, and it drew blood.
Oh, really?
So
okay.
Blood.
All right.
Yeah.
So
they hit someone in the face. It was accidental. Whatever. It's stupid. Only the NHL. It's like wrestling, Kevin. Like you can hit someone in the face with your stick, and if they're not bleeding, you get 2 minutes. But if they're bleeding, you get 4. So I've always said I don't know why an NHL player doesn't get fake blood and just put a tablet in his mouth. And say, look, I'm bleeding. Hey,
Chris Jericho could teach these guys a couple of things.
No,
steal extra 2 minutes.
I've talked about this. Put a little razor blade in the glove. Desperate moments. You know what I mean? You're in the corner there. You're like, you need a call, Kevin?
Yeah.
Little cut yourself. Come out. Hey, cut me. Look, I'm bleeding.
Just pretend no one even hits you. You're just in the corner, just pulling the blade out. Yeah, that might work.
Yeah. Hey, why not? Hey, Phil Necro used to use a razor, but Gaylord Perry, and razor blades have been used in sports before. But yeah, the Ducks are the real deal too. It's going to be a fun series. They're all very evenly matched. Colorado's just a load to deal with. And then we got tonight, of course, the Philadelphia Flyers in a must-win situation tonight. Listen, Kevin, we'll go over the numbers in my best bets, but both these teams are under machines. They're under machines.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just call it out for what it is. The Carolina Panthers have had one game go over in the playoffs. There was one game against Ottawa. They got to 6 goals. So they've played 6 games. They're 5-1 to the under 5.5. The Flyers have played 8 playoff games. They're 6-2 to the under 5.5. And they played a crappy defensive team in Pittsburgh. And those games still went under. Like the Flyers are 7-1-2 to the under in their last 8 games. This is an under 5.5 again tonight, Kevin. I mean, it was scary the other night because the Flyers scored those 2 quick goals, and it still went under 5.5, bro. It's going under 5.5 again tonight.
I'll tell you the thing that I was looking at. The first period, Philly just don't score. Like, even the games they were winning against Pittsburgh, they didn't score early. So the under 1.5 was minus 144, which is, a little bit expensive, but you can move some things around a little. One thing I was looking at, now this is going to sound ridiculous, but it's a little DGen special, so maybe you'll appreciate it. It was under 2.5 in the first period, over 3.5 for the whole game, with SGA to score 25. I think that was minus 105.
Well, how about this, Kevin? So look at this. The last 5 games for the cover your ears, Mr. Walsh. But the last 5 games for the Philadelphia Flyers, they haven't scored more than 2 goals once. They lost 3-2, 3-0. They won 1-0. They lost 3-2. They lost 4-2. They can't score. They can't score 3 goals in a game. It's hard to win in the NHL, unless you can score goals.
Yeah.
You can't win 2-1 every game.
And what's that team total then tonight? Is it 2.5 or is it? It can't be 3.5. It's 2.5. What kind of juice? At some point, they have to be able to score, right? Wow, 2.5 plus 104. Wow, man, for a home team,
at home too. It's one of these deals. The Flyers are going to throw the kitchen sink, man, at the Canes in the first 8 minutes of this game. That place is going to be rocking, right? Flyer fans, you guys are playing with house money.
Yeah, but they also don't want to get embarrassed here. I can tell you that much. You're right back.
All right, back with you guys right here on SportsGrid. And, man, oh, man, Gabe just told me that Austin Rivers is challenging Draymond Green to a game of one-on-one.
Dude, it's the best.
I didn't know that.
Austin Rivers is getting a lot of respect from me.
Yeah.
I didn't hear it. But, like, yeah, he's gained a lot of respect, guys. So, Austin Rivers, just quick recap. We'll get to the picks. But Draymond Green on his podcast always talks a fool and says, yeah, he's funny, but he says stupid things too. So he said Austin Rivers got the biggest bailout in NBA history, like Fannie and Mac, because of his father, that he got a $42 million contract, and that he sucked as a player. And Austin Rivers basically, like, dropped a great hammered down mic drop video. Basically said, I was the number one player in high school in America. I was like the ACC player of the year. I was a lottery pick. Like, he started dropping knowledge. And he goes, was I an NBA star? No, I wasn't. And he admitted, he goes, dude, I didn't. He goes, no, I was an NBA role player. And he goes, I also lasted 11 years in the NBA, not because of my father. And started going on, and it was really good. And then he goes, and let's just get something clear. And he started dropping about, you're not the Golden State Warriors. Steph Curry is. Klay Thompson is. Like, started talking about it. Draymond's kind of gone silent. Now, Draymond decides to troll Chuck last night, Charles Barkley, which wasn't smart. Like, that was just like, dude, what are you doing? I don't want to end up looking like you. What the hell? Chuck in his last year, bro, scored like 16 or whatever. Like, Chuck went to the finals with the Rockets. Shut the F up, bro. And, like, Chuck now would probably beat you in a game of one-on-one. So now, I love it. Austin Reeves finally had enough. He's challenging him now. He did another video today, and he goes, all right, I'm done with you. He goes, I'm done with you. He goes, why don't we play one-on-one for real? He goes, let's go. He goes, let's play one-on-one. And he goes, oh, yeah, you won't do it because you can't do an illegal pick and screen. You can't do a little drop-up. He started going off. He goes, you're open all the time because you suck, right? Oh, like, Rivers is like the new king of the internet, guys. Just check it out. Like, people are loving it because everyone hates Draymond.
The thing with Draymond, though, just what bothered, and this is something that has always bothered me. When I heard that comment, I just went to double check something that I thought I knew, which was Chuck awful on the Rockets? Nope. And this is what bothers me a lot.
That's what I'm saying.
Guys like Draymond think because they played in the NBA, they know everything and their insight's perfect. And they just don't, right? Like, does Draymond Green know more about playing basketball than me? Of course, right? But if you sit Draymond down between myself and Gabe, and we're like, hey, Thunder Lakers, what are you expecting? Like, there's a chance he might be like, I think Luka's going to go off tonight, okay? Like, it's just a different thing when you talk about it for a living and you play it for a living. The famous example is that half the guys in the NFL don't know that NFL games can end in ties. Like, that to me was where I was like, yep, I don't ever hear that you have to play a sport to know a sport again. These guys don't know the sport. It is.
A lot of guys that play sports they play don't watch the sport they play.
Yes. Which People is crazy to me. But it's true.
I was good friends with a football player, Kevin, and I asked him that. I said, who do you like this week? What do you think about this? And he goes, dude, I don't even like football. He goes, I don't watch football. That's what he told me. I said, yeah, but you play. Yes, it's your life. He goes, I'm a fullback. Yeah. He goes, I run people over. I do what the coach tells me to do, and I get paid. He goes, I'd rather be an engineer. That's what he told me.
Oh, my, yeah. Wow.
He was honest. Dude, you know, I interview fighters every week, Kevin.
Yeah.
They all tell me the same thing. I don't watch. I said, what do you think of the fight this week? He goes, I don't know. Who's fighting? They all say the same thing. So, like, the only time I ever see any other fighters is when I'm there. That's what they say. They don't watch. They don't know.
Yeah. All right, let's run through picks here, Gabe, because we're running up against it. But we've gone through a lot of these games already. I'll go first. I'll go quick. I like Cade Cunningham over 14.5 rebounds plus assists. I brought the rebounds into it because he could have 10 boards. I really like the assists, but I think the rebounds are worth it. We've mentioned the LeBron over the 7.5 assists. A's games and Marlins games are off and running. Love the Padres tonight, laying the run line at plus 130 with Michael King on the mound.
All right, I'm going to go. I like my picks tonight, guys. I don't know if this is good or bad. Although this one, precursor, and Kevin, like, gets it here. I don't have a choice. I'm going back to the Cavaliers at plus 3.5. Like, so help me God, Lord Gambler. Give me the Cavaliers plus 3.5. But, guys, James Harden rebounds. He's been a rebounding machine, actually. People don't realize it. He had 8 rebounds in the first game. People talk about his turnovers and stuff, but he had 8 rebounds in the first game. And against the Raptors, he went over this all the time, 4.5 rebounds. He's gone over in like 6 of the last 8 games or whatever. Harden rebound props. I can't get all the details, but take Harden over 4.5 rebounds. Oklahoma City Thunder are scoring 113 or more points tonight. Give me the Oklahoma City Thunder over 112.5. LeBron James, say what you will about him, but he's a stat machine. Let's go over 21.5. Depending on your book, you can bet the over 20 or more at minus 160, minus 170, or 21.5 points. And the Carolina Hurricanes and the Philadelphia Flyers under 5.5.
For behind the scenes, AJ's off and running with the A's. Cavs money line for Chris. Flyers money
Good
line
call, Koski.
for Sam Yarnell. I made this point to Gabe, but he is in a position now. And when I say I feel bad for him, I don't mean that in a mean way. I mean, I've been in spots like this.
Who, Yarnell?
He has to bet
Tell
the
Yarnell
Cavs.
and his Sabre. Tell Yarnell and his Sabre goon squad to leave Canadian fans alone outside the arena. Bunch of thugs.
Number one, who asked for this? Nobody, but nobody asked for a bump up in the number of teams in both the men and the women's basketball tournament from 68, including the 4 play-in teams, to 76. And by the way, it looks like it is a near-done deal. ESPN and ABC News reported this morning that's very close to being done. It could be announced by the end of this week.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
We got a logjam up top, Joe, which basically means these are the teams we expect to make the college football playoff.
If I like, let's say, Ohio State to run it back, well, then I already know what not only am I betting them for a flyer, I'm also betting the conference to win the championship also. So there's a lot of way to correlate these future bets in college.
Prediction Markets Edge. Only on SportsGrid.
Pretty adamant that they're going to play Kirk Cousins all of the season if they can.
It's not like Mendoza's coming in as some quarterback that, he hasn't played much and he needs some time. Like, he's as ready as he's going to be, bro.
Yeah.
Like, what's going to change? It's almost like Bo Nix or something. Like, nothing was going to change. Like, the guy's played 1 million games already. He is who he is.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Hey there, it's your buddy Craig Carton. If you're trying to find out how to get all the great content that me and Tyrone Johnson give you every single day, here's Tyrone to tell you how.
You can subscribe on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, and of course, Amazon Music as well. We're at all 4.
That's right. It's the Craig Carton Show podcast every weekday morning live at 11, replayed at noon on